Hello, we're in Chapter 2, Section 1, Functions, and today we have several goals in this section, the first of which is to learn how to do point-by-point plotting of equations in two variables. So that's going to be the focus of this video. Okay, well, to sketch a graph of an equation in x and y, two variables, we need to find ordered pairs that solve the equation and plot the ordered pairs on a grid. Remember, ordered pairs x comma y simply represent the input and the output of your equation, right? And this process of coming up with ordered pairs and plotting them all on the same grid, that process by your book is called point-by-point plotting. That's what they're going to refer to it. So the example we're going to do here is y equals x squared plus 2. That's going to be our equation. And the easiest way to do this is perhaps to create a table where you have x and y values. And how do we come up with these values? Well, what we do is we pick several values of the input x. We come up with these numbers. And you'll notice we pick smaller numbers because these are generally easier to work with. So in this example, we picked -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And for each input x, we plug that value into our functions rule, and we get an output y. And that's how we come up with these ordered pairs. So for an example, the work is done here in the second column for you, but just to do one of them, the first one, if I were trying to find what the output is when x is -3, I will just plug in -3 into my functions rule, and then I would get +9 plus 2. That gives me 11. So that's how this output of 11 was obtained. Well, that in itself gives me an ordered pair -3 comma 11, right? And I can repeat the process for all these other inputs, all these other values of x, the independent variable here. And I would get -2 comma 6, -1 comma 6, and let's see. Well, this should actually be a 3. Just got a typo there. And let's see. 2, at 0, we're at 2. At 1, we're at 3. And at 2, we're at 6. So we have a bunch of points, a bunch of ordered pairs here that we can now use to plot. And surely enough, here's a plot made up of those points. And what we do is we connect them with a smooth curve. We try to get the graph as smooth as we can. And as it's pointed out here, you may need to plot additional points to see the pattern formed. So using the chart on the previous slide, we only obtained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ordered pairs. As you could tell on this grid, to come up with a nice smooth curve, we had to use a lot more points. So a few more points were plotted on the same grid. And obviously you knew the shape was the nice parabola that we have studied before in Math 125.